Chosen ones, listen up. This is no ordinary message. If you're watching this, know that it's no accident. God has a purpose for you, and that purpose is about to unfold in an incredibly powerful way. The trials, setbacks, rejections, and battles you've faced, they were all part of God's divine plan. But hear me now. That chapter of struggle is coming to a close. Throughout your journey, there were people who doubted you, looked down on you, or wrote you off because of the obstacles you faced. Well, get ready for a shift, one that only God could orchestrate. Every tear you've shed, every prayer you've uttered, and every moment when you thought you might not make it, God has heard you. And now, He's about to turn it all around. What you're stepping into isn't just a new phase. This is the life God has destined for you. The doors that were once closed are about to swing wide open. The opportunities you thought were beyond your reach, they're coming to you. This is your moment. Your breakthrough isn't coming. It's already here. God is ready to elevate you to a new level. And the people who doubted you, they'll witness what only God could do in your life. Before we dive into more powerful truths, take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and comment 333 inches below. That number isn't by chance. It symbolizes alignment, purpose, and the season of your breakthrough. Let's stand in agreement with heaven for what's about to happen in your life. Get ready, chosen ones. Your life is about to change forever. Point 1. The work is buried in your burden. God's calling isn't a simple assignment handed to us like a task list. It's something much deeper, more intimate. He doesn't just give us work to do. He plants His work within us, embedding it deep in our spirits. It's as if the divine calling grows from the very core of who we are. If you've ever felt an intense, overwhelming pull toward a particular purpose, something that breaks your heart, keeps you awake at night, or lingers in your thoughts no matter how hard you try to ignore it, that's not just coincidence, it's divine instruction. It's God's way of communicating the mission He's designed for you, the path He wants you to walk. Think about the things that make your heart ache. Maybe it's the suffering you see in the world, those in need of hope, those trapped in cycles of despair. Or maybe it's the injustice that keeps you up at night, burning a hole in your soul, begging for change. These aren't just random thoughts or fleeting emotions. They are messages from a higher source, reminders that you've been chosen to be part of the solution. When God plants a burden in your spirit, He's not doing it to overwhelm you, but to awaken you to your purpose. It's a divine whisper that stirs you, calling you to action. The very things that burden you, the issues you can't seem to shake off, are the ones God intends for you to address. These aren't signs of weakness, but signs of your divine strength. God knows what you're capable of, even when you don't see it yourself. He's preparing you for something bigger than you might ever imagine. It's easy to dismiss these passions or call them distractions, but in reality, they're invitations. Invitations to step into your purpose, to use your gifts and strengths to impact the world around you in a profound way. In this journey, don't dismiss the emotions or the thoughts that seem too intense or inconvenient. They are signals of the divine seed that's been planted within you. God doesn't just want you to succeed. He wants you to fulfill the mission He's set before you. So when something tugs at your heart and you feel compelled to act, remember, it's not just passion, it's divine instruction. Embrace it, follow it, and allow it to guide you toward your true calling as a chosen one. Point 2, your gift isn't random, it's revelation. In a world where everyone is trying to fit into a mold, it's easy to forget that your unique traits are your superpowers. Think about it, no one else sees the world the way you do. No one else has the exact same combination of experiences, talents, quirks, and perspectives. That's your fingerprint on the earth, a mark that's been encoded by something bigger than yourself. Many believe that we are born with certain gifts for a reason, because they align with a larger purpose in our lives. It's not random, and it's not a coincidence that you possess what you do. It's part of your destiny, a revelation waiting for you to uncover it. God, or whatever higher power you believe in, has given you a unique set of skills, characteristics, and talents that no one else can replicate. When you stop brushing these off as insignificant or not enough, you begin to see them as tools. They are your building blocks, your foundation to create something extraordinary. Too often we are taught to downplay our gifts to blend in, but it's exactly those differences that the world needs. Your way of solving problems, your quirky sense of humor, your deep empathy, or even your stubborn determination, All of these are aspects of your individuality that can impact those around you in ways you may not even realize. Consider the artists, entrepreneurs, and innovators throughout history who've changed the world. They didn't follow the crowd. They embraced their unique vision, even when it didn't make sense to others. Steve Jobs, for example, saw technology not just as a tool, but as an extension of human creativity. He built an empire around his unique understanding of design and innovation, and in doing so, he left an undeniable fingerprint on the tech world. You don't have to change the world on that scale to matter, though. The impact of embracing your uniqueness can ripple out into your community, your relationships, and your own personal growth. Don't brush off your quirks or skills. They are not random. They are part of your revelation, your spiritual blueprint. When you start building with them, you'll unlock doors to opportunities, personal fulfillment, and most importantly, the chance to live a life that's authentically yours. So own it. Your uniqueness is your greatest gift, and it's time to build something meaningful with it. Point 3, the work will feel too simple to be that big. When we think of divine work, we often imagine grand, awe-inspiring tasks, something that feels larger than life. But here's the plot twist. Divine work rarely feels fancy at first. In fact, many of the most powerful acts of God began in ways that seemed insignificant. Take Moses, for example. God asked him to raise a stick, not wield a sword or perform some grand miracle. Yet that humble act of obedience led to one of the most iconic moments in biblical history, the parting of the Red Sea. Similarly, David didn't face Goliath with a suit of armor or a magical weapon. He had a simple slingshot, a weapon so small and seemingly inadequate for the task, yet in the hands of someone with faith and purpose, it became an instrument of victory. These stories illustrate a powerful truth. The tools God uses are often humble and simple. Moses' staff, David's slingshot, they weren't flashy, they weren't extravagant, but they were the vessels through which greatness flowed. It's easy to dismiss our own talents and skills as small or insignificant, especially when we compare them to the grandiosity of what we see in others. But when you look closer, you realize that greatness doesn't always start with fireworks. Sometimes it starts with what you have right in front of you. Maybe you're great at baking, talking, organizing, or solving problems. These might seem like everyday skills, but in the hands of someone with a higher purpose, they can become extraordinary. God doesn't require you to be extraordinary to use you in extraordinary ways. He asks you to be faithful in what you already have. It's not about underestimating the small things, but recognizing that in the divine economy, nothing is too small. We tend to believe that only the loudest, the biggest, and the most visible are worthy of attention or are capable of achieving greatness. But in God's kingdom, even the smallest act of obedience or the humblest of talents can trigger a chain of events that changes lives, communities, and even the world. So the next time you look at your abilities and think they're not enough, remember that heaven doesn't see small. What you offer might just be the key to something monumental. Don't discount your potential just because it feels modest. God can and will use it in ways you can't even imagine. Point 4, it scares you because it's sacred. When you feel an idea that excites you but also terrifies you, that's a profound clue. It's a sign that you might be standing at the edge of something significant, a sacred assignment, a calling that's larger than what you've known before. Sacred assignments are often accompanied by fear, not because you're not capable, but because they carry weight. This weight is a challenge, but it's also a powerful opportunity for growth. It's easy to think fear is the enemy. However, the true enemy is paralysis, the inability to act because the fear feels overwhelming. Fear can be seen as a signal, a nudge that you're stepping outside your comfort zone and into something transformative. Fear isn't something you need to fight or avoid. It's something you learn to move with. Think about some of the greatest pioneers, innovators, and spiritual leaders. They all faced moments of fear, yet they didn't let it stop them. Instead, they used fear as fuel. Fear is a natural part of the human experience, especially when you're about to take a leap into unknown territory. The key is to not let it paralyze you. The greatest minds in history, from scientists to artists to spiritual leaders, all understood that moving with fear is a necessary part of their journey. When you feel fear creeping in, remember this: if God gave you the idea, He also gave you the strength and tools to make it happen. Trust that you are not alone in this journey. In the moments of doubt, when the fear seems loudest. Trust that God is walking with you, guiding you through every step. The path may be challenging, but you are equipped for it. Sacred assignments are rarely easy, but they are meant to help you grow, to help you discover strengths and abilities you never knew you had. When you move with the fear, you allow it to be a stepping stone, not an obstacle. The courage to step forward, even when terrified, is what separates those who live in potential from those who manifest greatness. In the end, your trust in the process and your faith in God will be the strength you need. You don't need to wait for the fear to disappear. Simply take the first step, and the rest will unfold. Point 5. Divine work requires earthly faith. When embarking on any new journey, it's easy to feel uncertain, especially when the path ahead isn't fully visible. Imagine standing at the base of a grand staircase, only able to see the first step. The rest of the journey is hidden in the shadows, and you have no idea what lies ahead. This is often how God leads us. He doesn't always show us the entire staircase at once, but He does provide the first step. It's a leap of faith, taking action when we don't have the full picture. In life, there are many moments when we feel like we're lacking essential things: money, support, a clear plan, or a roadmap to success. But God doesn't always give us all the answers up front. He asks us to trust Him, to step forward in obedience, even when we can't see the entire path. It's in these moments that true growth happens. Think about a time in your life when you took a leap of faith, whether it was a new career, starting a business, or making a major life change. At the outset, you probably didn't have all the answers. You might have felt overwhelmed or unsure. Yet by taking that first step, you started a journey that eventually led to unexpected blessings and growth. The key is obedience. God's provision often follows purpose, but it's up to us to take the first step. The miracle isn't necessarily in the grand, dramatic moments we envision. It's in the quiet, everyday decisions to keep moving forward, even when the end goal is unclear. When you move in obedience, even when the road ahead is murky, God steps in to guide you. Each step, no matter how small it may seem, is a step toward the fulfillment of your purpose. Often we expect provision to come all at once, but God's plan is step by step. As you take each step, you're met with new opportunities, resources, and relationships that were hidden before. Miracles happen in the act of trusting, moving, and continuing forward. You may not have the full picture, but as you move in faith, the path becomes clearer. Step by step, miracle by miracle, the staircase unfolds before you, and God's provision meets you where your obedience starts. Point 6. The work will bless others first. Chosen one. The true path to wealth is not found in selfish pursuits, but in the work that serves others. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in the belief that wealth is solely about accumulating money, status, or material possessions. However, true wealth, the kind that leads to lasting fulfillment, is rooted in service. When you focus on helping others, whether by solving a problem, easing someone's pain, or offering guidance, you create a ripple effect that extends far beyond the immediate moment. This kind of wealth doesn't just enrich you, it enriches everyone around you. Look at the people who have left lasting legacies. Visionaries like Steve Jobs didn't create for the sake of personal gain alone. They set out to solve problems and improve the world. Jobs wanted to change the way people interacted with technology, and by doing so, he built both financial wealth and a legacy that endures. The key was that his focus was on how he could contribute to others' lives, not just how he could benefit personally. This is what kingdom work looks like. Whether through your business, your art, or your daily interactions, when you focus on the well-being of others, you connect with a higher purpose. The beauty of this approach is that it's a cycle of abundance. The more you give, whether it's your time, talents, or resources, the more you receive. And it's not about giving with the expectation of return, but about doing what you're called to do, knowing that as you serve, God will multiply your blessings. This cycle extends beyond you, impacting those you help and creating a network of mutual support and prosperity. True wealth isn't just about you. It's about the impact you have on others. When you serve with a generous heart, the universe and God will respond. As you give, your purpose will expand, and so will your influence, creating a life of abundance that surpasses material wealth. Point 7. You already have everything you need to start. Here's the truth bomb you've been waiting for. You are not waiting for more time, more money, or more clarity. You are waiting for you. Too often, we convince ourselves that we need more of something external to make progress, more time to plan, more money to invest, more clarity to feel confident. But in reality, it's not about waiting for the perfect circumstances. It's about activating yourself. The moment you say yes to your dreams, everything starts shifting. It's like flipping a switch. Suddenly the universe begins to respond. Angels move, doors open, resources flow, and opportunities that once seemed distant start appearing right in front of you. This isn't just wishful thinking. There's a deep truth here. The energy you put out into the world begins to mirror back at you. When you take action, no matter how small, you start to align with your purpose, and that's when the magic happens. The law of attraction isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a universal principle. The more you commit to your journey, the more the world seems to conspire in your favor. This is the moment where everything begins to unfold. You don't need to wait for the perfect conditions. You don't need to feel 100% ready. Start now. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to begin. So, stop waiting for everything to be perfect. Take that first step. Once you do, you'll find that the universe will meet you halfway, and you'll be amazed at how quickly things begin to align. Chosen one, it's time to activate your power. The world is waiting for you to step into your greatness. Spirit warriors, listen to me. This isn't a motivational speech. It's a spiritual wake-up call. God isn't asking you to hustle harder. He's calling you to align. That millionaire-making, legacy-building, world-changing work, it's not a fantasy. It's already inside you, waiting to be unlocked. Heaven has decided. The assignment has been written. The only question is, will you say yes? Because when a chosen one says yes to divine work, history changes, generations are blessed, and yes, millionaires are made. Watch this again. Take notes. Then walk into your work. God's already decided. Now it's your move. Stay awake, chosen ones. Your journey has just begun.